high-profile, top-tier, superstar caliber players. These guys get put on the trade block sometimes. But when they're in these trade positions, when second overall picks, third overall picks of years past are put on the block, and when they're actually good even, it's rare to see a GM of one of these players go out there and be so blunt about what's going on. Today, we're going over the Patrik Laine situation in Columbus, because some of the comments made by Don Waddell on TSN Overdrive from yesterday kind of illuminate just how bad this entire situation has gotten. And in a way, you could say it's perhaps gotten even worse than we had anticipated. So, Patrik Laine, still the same profile as always, 26 years old, $87 million a year, signed on till the end of 25-26. Laine is coming off a season where he had 9 points in 18 games, which followed up 2 point-per-game seasons with CBJ. He had just exited the NHL's Players Assistance Program, and the wheels have started turning once again on the idea of Laine getting traded. Now, we had spoken about comments made by Don Waddell. This is the CBJ Center on Twitter that went out there and posted them on social media. It's easier for us to screenshot, put it on the screen, follow along. But CBJ GM Don Waddell did go out there and have himself an interview on TSN Overdrive, and it was interesting to say the least. Don Waddell does go out there and spill the tea in the most blunt way possible about Patrik Laine and the entire trade conversation that's been going down. He's been very vocal about it way before I got here, Don Waddell said, that Patrik Laine does not want to play for the Blue Jackets. I think there was a lot of things that went on in the locker room, and he just doesn't want it. So this is different because it's harder to bring him back knowing the situation, but saying that it might be the option. I'm talking to teams every day. I got 2 or 3 teams engaged right now, and we'll see where it goes. At the end of the day, like I told Andy Scott, his representation, I can try to do it, I can try to make a trade, but if there's not a deal to be made, he's gonna have to come back here to camp, and we'll welcome him back and try to make the best out of the situation. And that's it. I wanted to make a video going over that conversation because Don Waddell is not holding anything back. Yeah, straight up, everybody knew it. This guy wants out. I got hired. He still wants out. I'm gonna try my best, but we're not gonna guarantee anything here because there are a lot of things that play into it, you know, the contract situation, the decline in production, the certainty, the fact that he was in the NHL's Players Assistance Program. Of course, we recognize that him going into the program is a good thing, and that him getting the necessary help he needed to get was a good thing, but at the same time, he hasn't played hockey in a professional game in a year. Not only was he in the Players Assistance Program, but he also was hurt for a chunk of last season. So there's so much uncertainty here with Laine. If you wanted to go out there and believe in the guy that had back-to-back point-per-game years before this previous season, then okay, that's totally your prerogative, but that was over a year ago. So I could totally understand if that doubt does exist in some of these other teams. So for Don Waddell to even admit saying, hey, at the end of the day, I'm going to try. But if we can't get things to work out, if no team is able to accept what it is that we're wanting in a trade, then he's going to come back. He's going to have to come back, and we'll welcome him back, and we'll try to make everything work. We'll try to make the best out of it, but we cannot guarantee that he will be moved, even though he is so vocal. He's been vocal about wanting out of Columbus. And honestly, when I start to think about that aspect of this trade situation, I start to think about Jacob Trouba. And I think about the situation over there where the Rangers had a trade in place to send him over to Detroit. They were thinking about buying him out. They had all these ideas, and everybody was saying that it was inevitable. But then Trouba was like, yeah, no, sorry, I'm not gonna allow that to happen. I'm staying here. I don't want to be subjected to any movement. I want to stick around for my partner. And that's admirable, of course, but it set a very odd tone with the team, the New York Rangers squad itself, when everybody knew, oh yeah, they were lining Jacob Trouba up in the back there and kicking him out to the curb. They wanted to get this done, only for it to not get done. And now he's still in the Rangers organization, and everybody has to continue business as usual. Not to mention that there may be some harsh feelings out there, like, hey, I'm the captain of the team and you guys wanted me out, you guys almost sent me out, but now I'm still here. How must that feel to know that you're in a position where you are so unwanted by your hockey team? It's not the same here directly with Patrik Laine because he's the one who's demanding who gets out, but imagine if you're a teammate of this guy. Imagine if you're Johnny Gaudreau. Johnny Gaudreau said he went to Columbus because he wants to win, a sentiment that a lot of people, myself included, kind of clowned on him for, and for good reason. I mean, the Blue Jackets have stunk ever since he made his debut with that team. But Johnny Gaudreau, imagine him. Or Adam Fantilli, imagine him. Young guys, new guys, that'll be making impacts with this team long term. Imagine that's your first exposure to the Blue Jackets organization. You step in, come into training camp, you're playing your first season or you're in your second season or whatever, and the only thing everybody's talking about is how one of your most expensive guys at $8.7 million wants out and he hasn't gotten traded yet. I mean, that must be a very awkward feeling in the room, right? Everybody's like looking at him in the locker room. They're saying, hey, we know you want to leave. We know you don't want to be with us anymore, but your contract is so expensive and your situation was so unfortunate that now you're just kind of stuck here. That's what happens if Patrik Laine doesn't get traded, and Don Waddell has gone out there onto TSN Overdrive and said, hey, it's very possible that he doesn't get traded. We just have to make the most out of the situation that happens if he's not. So never mind Patrik Laine himself, never mind the Columbus Blue Jackets management or them putting Laine on the block, trying to get him out of here. Never mind that, think about the actual implications of what this situation will do to that locker room and the players involved learning that, hey, this guy really doesn't want to be here anymore. He had spent the entire year away from us. He's come back now and he still wants out. There was drama, apparently. There were a lot of things going on behind the scenes. Maybe it was the older management. Maybe it was Mike Babcock. Who really knows? But Don Waddell has come into this situation like Childish Gambino with the pizza into that burning room. I mean, he's got just a big fire on his hands that he's got to try to put out by himself. And there are no fire extinguishers in the room for miles. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about this entire Patrik Laine situation and how these comments from Don Waddell honestly kind of make it seem like it's getting worse. Let me know your thoughts as to where you think Patrik Laine is going to get traded to, what you think the price is going to be, and what do you think the outcome is if Laine doesn't get traded at all. Let's say he stays in Columbus with his $8.7 million AAV salary. What do the narratives say? What do the stories look like afterwards? How does the team gel, knowing that this guy wanted out so badly? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.